Previously on Dual Spirit Adventures. On episode 2 of my Pan American vlog, you saw me take a dip in the Arctic Ocean. Then you saw me run away from it. I was on top of the world, literally and figuratively, and now I was planning to ride towards the only choice of direction I had: south. Deadhorse was cool. I'd probably never come up here again, but it was time to go. And my temper was not exactly mellow.
Alright. Riding the Dalton back. Can't even get my words because it's bloody cold here. It's unbelievably cold and windy. This is miserable. Nothing about this is fun. I don't know how I get myself into situations like this, but here I am. At least my bike is still running okay. But me, not so much. This is cold. This is not good.
And then it got worse.
Guys, do you think we're going to the left of that storm or right of that storm? Wrong. We are going right into the storm. Yep, that's my luck.
As you can tell, my return on the Dalton could be better. An adventure rider's worst nightmare. Cold, windy, and now raining. But the views were never dull. After the storms passed, I stopped for a quick look around my bike.
Can anybody guess the license plate number on my bike? Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyway, over here this lock is completely ruined at this point. All the dirt has gone in and all the shaking from the road has kind of like settled it in place, just like how a compactor works, kind of like that. But in this case it has not worked in my favor because everything is in this box. Camera, my drone, food, water, all the essentials are in this box, and I can't.
Spoiler alert, guys. No drone footage in this episode. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Open it. So unless I get this washed, pressure washed probably, I can't do anything about it. Oh well. Which sucks because I'm in a place like this. I mean, look around me. And I cannot do any filming here or taping here. Which is good for me because it's less editing. Bad for you guys because it's less footage. Also, I cannot open my toolbox because it is frozen solid. Yeah, it's stuck on all the stuff. This has to go. Oh, this is dirty. This is nasty. Then I get to Fairbanks, which is only 300 something miles away. Hey, but my Tiger is still going strong. The engine is seamlessly pulling. The drivetrain looks okay. The chain needs to be lubed again in Fairbanks after everything is washed. There are no fluid leaks.
Hold on to that thought.
Everything looks good from the bike's perspective. So hopefully I can get to Fairbanks without much trouble.
Anyway, beyond the Arctic Pass, things got better in terms of weather and riding was enjoyable again. So time for some tips.
Never take your eyes off the road. Because it's not just the road. There are certain tracks on the road which is better than certain other tracks on the road. For example, this one is a lot smoother than the one to the left, the one on the other side, because that has a lot of potholes, some of it has loose gravel. So the moment you take your eyes off the road, let's say, oh, look at it, is that a bear? Boom, you hit a pothole, or your front end starts sliding because you hit a patch of gravel. It's so difficult. It requires like 100% focus on the road. That's ridiculous. And it's also 500 miles one way, so that's a lot of focus. That takes a toll on your body, on your mind. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Doing all that, it's hard to keep track of this scenery that this place has to offer constantly. I mean, look at it. Oh, beautiful.
Within no time, I had reached Colford again, and it was time to set up camp for the night. And traveling on motorcycles, especially in Alaska, there is no shortage of other adventure motorcyclists, and everyone has a unique story to tell. Having exchanged our stories and food over a campfire, I rolled into my sleeping bag and passed out. The following morning, I noticed a minor design flaw with my camping mat.
Just waking up inside my tent, camping alongside the Dalton Highway. It got really cold here last night, but luckily I had some good gear from REI to keep me warm. But here's something weird I noticed. So when I wake up, my it's not an air mattress exactly, was deflated. So I woke up, I checked for leaks, and there weren't any. So here's what I think happened. Because the air got so cold, it contracted, and my bed of roses last night became bed of thorns now. Anyway, at least everything else kept me warm.
Anyway, weather was much nicer and warmer as I continued south, but I noticed something which was not supposed to be the way it was.
After about 700-800 miles on the Dalton, my fork seals have finally given. See the leaking oil? Yeah, that's just happened. I hit a giant pothole, and that's the result. I've still got about 200 miles to go. Hopefully it should be okay. I got nothing else to do, there's nothing here.
Luckily, some kind bikers helped me out at Yukon River Camp. They were prepared. They had every possible tool for roadside work. We popped the dust cover and used a tool to clean the fork seal, and we hoped it was just grains of dirt which broke the seal. I couldn't thank them enough for helping me out. Americans are really a kind bunch.
Thanks to those really nice gentlemen, the fork seal looks like it's sealed for now. But in the process of fixing it, I might have got some fluid over my rotors, which means it's a lubricant, and you don't want lubricants on your brake rotors. So that means I will not have brakes for a while now. That's fine. Who needs brakes anyways, right? Speaking of brakes, I just noticed my rear rotors, or rather my rear pads, are completely worn out, and it is scratching the shit out of my rotors. So this needs changed at some point, rather soon. We'll see, probably in Fairbanks.
I hit the road again, the last few miles on the Dalton Highway.
So to summarize, to sum it up, Dalton Highway has been exhausting and enticing at the same time.
I had successfully completed the Dalton Highway with almost no problems to me or my motorcycle. Hence the rather mature celebration.
So let me see how our flags have fared. This plastic novelty store from India fared good. Walmart, not so much. US flag is upside down.
Fairbanks wasn't far from here. I had a couple of problems to address on my bike, but the most important task I had was to wash the bike. Watch this rather satisfying time lapse of me washing my bike. I kid you not, I spent a total of $20 for the wash. It was a ridiculous amount of dirt to wash off. Following morning, it was a straight shot towards the Canadian border. I met this really nice couple, Anne and Sean, at the cute hostel I stayed in at Tok, a border town before Canada. Sean is a retired Texas State PD helicopter pilot and Anne is a math teacher. They were enjoying their retired life in Alaska. They gave me dinner, breakfast for the following morning, and lunch to go. How kind of them. Thanks again, Anne and Sean. I will definitely consider your offer next time to fly over glaciers in Alaska.
I'm in Tok, Alaska. I did about 200 miles of riding today. Good thing about that, I didn't use any brakes. However, my my fork seals, they're completely doomed. No amount of tool could help me. It's pissing fluid all over my rotors. So I've got no front brakes, I've got no rear brakes. And the nearest parts store is 2,000 miles away in Canada. I think I'm just gonna brave it and march on. Let's see what happens. If everything went as per the plan, it's a boring story. So here's something which is not going to the plan.
This is also where I end my episode 3. On the next episode, I cross the border into Canada to take on the Alaska-Canada Highway. Stay tuned.